All right. Stream should be started now. So I am revisiting Elden Ring and doing the Garden of Eyes mod. This is a somewhat controversial mod. Apparently, I'm not really involved with the details surrounding the controversy, just that some people like it, some people really hate it. I gave it a chance. I have some positive and negative opinions about the mod. I think it does some stuff really well and some stuff I didn't like. As you can see here, there's been some significant changes to the story. Here we have Moog all strung up with his own weapon piercing him. We'll get into that in a bit. The mod adds a bunch of new bosses. It also increases the difficulty of existing bosses. Fewer changes in the DLC than in the base game. In the base game, you can notice quite a few changes even to the map itself. So, you know, like here in Weeping Peninsula, there's a whole new, basically, city that was created. Big changes here in Caelid, including that. Of course, Rhea Lucaria is very different in this mod. And there's even this whole like time dungeon where the Temple of Eyes just located out in the middle here. As for why Moog is here, that's part of the final boss of the DLC. In the original unmodded Elden Ring, they have the final boss as being Radahn. Basically, Radahn resurrected and much more powerful. This was, of course, pretty controversial among fans for a variety of reasons. What this mod does is it basically replaces, well, among many things that it does, one of the changes that it makes is replacing Radahn as Miquella's consort with Malenia instead. Personally, I think Malenia made more logical sense to be the consort, but Radahn made more thematic sense to be the consort. And what I mean by that is Miquella's journey sort of is meant to parallel that of Marika. And of course, that means his consort, his Elden Lord, should also parallel that of Marika, which was Godfrey. So of course, Marika was all about peace and healing, but chose Godfrey as her consort, who was foremost about war. So thematically, Miquella follows that same pattern. He was supposedly, all about peace and understanding and compassion and all that, but chose a warrior Radahn as his consort. And the reason I say Malenia is the more logical choice is because prior to the DLC, some of the lore sort of hinted that Malenia was still alive. And I'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, I'm not going to go fight Malenia, the consort version in this mod right away. I'm going to warm up first by fighting the original unmodded game Malenia. So let's head over to the Halig Tree roots. And Malenia, even in the unmodded game, is widely considered one of the hardest video game bosses ever. I found her very difficult too the first few times I fought her. First few playthroughs. It took me a few hundred attempts to defeat her the first time. I've gotten quite better at the fight. One thing that I've found that works very well is keeping your equipment load light, because you can roll further with light equipment load than you can with medium, and it's easier to dodge some of her attacks if you have a light equipment load. And I'd normally like to use a weapon that has some reach to it because her sword has a long range. So I like to have a long range weapon too. But I think for this, since I'm, warming up for a harder fight, I'm going to just do hand-to-hand combat. Like that. So I'll stick to martial arts and, It'll be a nice warm up for the harder challenges to come in a bit. So here we go. Let's fight Melania. When this cutscene ends, she comes out extremely aggressive, so it catches a lot of people by surprise for some of the fire. She really is a pretty unpredictable boss, switching between extreme aggression and passivity.
My flesh was dull gold, and my blood rotted. Corpse after corpse left in my wake. As I awaited his return. Heed my words. I am Melania, Blade of Mikola. And I have never known defeat.
And you're about to see why. I was trying to do a charge attack there. And yeah, every time she hits you with her sword, she heals a little bit of health. No, I missed the repost. All right. I instinctively backed away in case she was going to do her waterfowl dance again, but I could have gotten a critical there. I have a feeling she's about to do a waterfowl dance again. And the worst thing you can do is get caught directly underneath her when she's doing it. So I'm trying to be cautious here. Let her initiate the attack. Oops. A little too close there. That's fine. Well, she healed some from that. Gotta be very careful not to overcommit when attacking her. Trying to bait her there. Wow. I sort of misjudged the distance there again. All right, phase 2. And by the way, using a shield against her is very bad because even if you block her attacks, just her hitting your shield restores her health. And for the same reason, you want to be careful about using spear dashes too, because even though they make most fights easier, they can make a fight with her harder because she heals from hitting your spear dashes as well. So you really have to, you can't really play the way you want to play when fighting her. And yeah, she doesn't have eyes.
Now, rot.
All right. Oh no. Yeah, she thought. That was a pretty dangerous attack right there that she tried on me. Ah, she dodged mid-combo. All right. Here, have some lightning. Oh, no, okay. Wow. Not good, not good. All right. All right, I can finish off. Nice.
Extraordinary. The mark of a true lord.
Okay. I used to think she was a very difficult boss, and I guess she kind of still is because you have to stay on her toes. And I had to even be very careful in how I approached combat with her because, as you can see, I sort of held back and didn't overcommit in attacks because I know how quickly she can turn things around. And this form that she assumes, this Scarlet Aeonia Blossom, it's very strongly associated with rebirth. So that's one of the reasons, among a few, that I think the base game sort of hinted that she's not really dead here. And in fact, if you have the unalloyed gold needle, you can give it to her, and she'll give you back Miquella's needle as well as a smithing stone. So this can be interacted with. So yeah, that was interesting. Now the next fight is quite a bit tougher, so I'm not going to use martial arts for that anymore. I'm going to change things up a little bit. Yeah. So this is a lightning perfume bottle. You basically throw perfume with an electric charge. Seems like a pretty useless weapon, and in the unmodded Elden Ring, it kind of is useless. It's not very effective by any means, but in this mod, the perfume bottles seem to be more powerful for some reason. I'm not sure why. It's not. I don't think it's a bug. I think because this is on patch 1.16.2, which is, I mean, that's the most recent patch, so calibration should be up to date. But for whatever reason, the modded version of this, if I were to launch this unmodded, this perfume bottle would be pretty weak, but it does a lot more damage in this Garden of Eyes mod. So whatever, I'll run with it. All right. And like I said, in the unmodded game, the original, Miquella chose Radahn as his consort. I strongly suspect that Malenia was intended to be the final boss of the DLC as well, but given how hard she was in the base game, I suspect that if players had to fight an even more difficult version of Malenia in the DLC, there would basically be a mutiny among fans. So I think they switched her out for Radahn mid-development. I can't approve it, but it's what I suspect based on some in-game lore. But yeah, now of course I am going to fight a tougher version of Malenia. And like Radahn, you can summon Tiolier and Ansbach to help you fight her. But of course that increases her HP, and I don't want to do that anyway. Let's see, let me make sure I'm two-handing. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna try to defeat her by throwing electric perfume at her. We'll see how that goes. In the original game, you can't climb up the stairs, but they made it in this mod to where you can get up there. There we go. That's Malenia's Great Rune. Speaking of which, I have Morgott's Great Rune equipped right now. I can activate it by using a Rune Arc. Gives me a little bit of extra health. Never know. Might need it for this fight.
Dearest Miquella, my brother, I'm sorry.
Since she's basically making use of Moog's body to come back to life, I can actually use Moog's shackle on her. Whoa. All right, that range was unexpected. That is some damage. Oh.
abundance, my last drop of dew. Healed the path forward.
So now it seems she's cured of her scarlet rot.
Miquella, and my promised consort.
But I'm low on health, so this is going to be bad. Whoa! Ah! All right. Ah! All right, come on, let me heal. Wow, she does a lot of damage. Ah. All right, there. How does her punch have such a long range? She did all that damage by kicking? All right, I really need to get away from her. So yeah, this is going to be difficult. I think what messed me up is not having full health at the beginning of phase 2. Although, I think if I can use my Wondrous Physic a little bit early and try to absolutely destroy her quickly in phase 1. All right, mistimed that. All right, that helps me a bit. There, dodged her first attack. Oh, no, 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 oh! I'm almost out of stamina. Okay. Need to heal my stamina. Oh. That was intense. Now, this is the unmodded game. The DLC would end here. After you defeat Radon, it's over. But in this mod, there's another fight waiting at the end here. Oh, as part of this mod, you can get other horses besides Torrent. I got the Knight's Cavalry horse to go with my armor.
Tarnished one. You have known sin. If you grieve
Haha.
this world, then yield the path.
And he can steal my horse. Ah. I can also, if you use a spirit summon, he can actually hijack that as well. So I summon Latina here, but he can actually turn your summons against you.
Let us go.
Uh-oh, I can't attack. Oh, okay. My attack was disabled for a minute there. Whoa. All right. Also, if you inflict him with any status effect like poison or scarlet rot, he can heal himself and infect you with that status effect instead. Ah. What? All right, all right, all right. Wow. Oh no. I need to heal. There we go. This is only the beginning.
The vow endures. Then I shall carry it forth. Unto a world of endless bounty. Shaded from the sin of the old order.
And she's back.
Yield the path.
Again.
For the age I dream of has no place for thee.
She's gone from Goddess of Rot to Goddess of Bloom. Interesting. What? Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, that was a lot. Ah, so fast. Oh.
Dear Mikola,
My loyal blade. Let us stir together.
Well, time to fight both of them together. Ah, butterflies. Whoa. What? Whoa. Oh no. Keep running into these traps. There. What? Oh, come on. That was a bit much to try to dodge. I only have so much stamina. All right, try again. That's all I can do is just keep trying. Ugh. Whoa. All right. What's she doing? Come on. All right.
My loyal blade. Let us go together.
That insanely long combo so I got me last time. I have to be very careful about that. Just gotta jump over that, I guess. Whoa. Where is he? Okay. Oh, it's... Whoa. Nice grab attempt. Oh no, here it comes. Okay, that's not the long combo. Maybe this is a long combo. Yep, it is. Come on. Stop. Ah. I survived. She probably restored a bunch of health off of me for that, but I'm at least alive a little bit longer. Ah. All right, 3 more flasks. What's she doing? Ah, another long combo. Now it's both of them. Oh no. Nice. What? Ah. What's she doing? Ah, come on, let me heal. All right. Oh, now he's right where I want him. Yeah. What? All right, that wasn't so bad. I avoided the first grab attempt, didn't see there was going to be a second one. All right, I can win this still. No, maybe not. Okay. What? There. Wow. This is the sword I got. Ceremonial sword bequeathed to Mikola by his father. Incredibly heavy blade when the weight is not alleviated by Mikola. Yes, 17.5. Okay, that's pretty heavy. Ah, okay, the plight of his sister to carry the blade for him. Okay. By the way, this whole thing of Mikola fighting you directly is, in my interpretation of the lore, sort of goes against the lore. And the reason I say that is because in Elden Ring, gods like Marika and Mikola are basically sort of confined. They're trapped in a sense that they can't interact with the world directly. That's why they need an Elden Lord to interact with the world on their behalf. Saint Trina even says God will be a prison for Mikola. And that's why in the unmodded game, Mikola doesn't fight us directly. In fact, he uses holy incantations against us, but he channels them through Radon. So you don't see. That's why you don't fight Mikola directly, is because he literally cannot interact with the world and needs an Elden Lord to do it for him. In the case of the original Elden Ring DLC, that's Radon, and Mikola's attacks come out through Radon. So maybe the creators of this mod had sort of a different interpretation of the lore, but that's my interpretation. And then this third phase of this fight, I'm interpreting this as Mikla and Melania combining with each other, as Marika did with Radagon, where they became the same person. Because Marika and Radagon can switch back and forth between each other. We saw that in the ending of the base game when Marika became Radagon, like right before our eyes. I'm assuming something similar is happening here, where Mikla and Melania became one person and could switch back and forth at will. So yeah, that's sort of my interpretation there. This mod doesn't just add new bosses. It also makes some of the existing bosses a little more challenging. As an example, let's go ahead and fight Radon. I already beat him, but one of the features of this mod is you can bring bosses back to life. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I'm very overpowered for this point in the fight, so he'll probably die very quickly. Oh yeah, he's gonna die quickly. But yeah, this essentially adds another phase to the Radon fight. Where he's channeling meteors from space. And if I look closely, you can sort of see creatures among the meteorites. Like this guy falling. Oh, there's Scarlet Rot. Another interesting boss fight that they added is, so this mod takes a lot of inspiration from other Souls games, especially Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne. And in the case of Bloodborne, they took such heavy inspiration that they basically changed all of Raya Lucaria to be very Bloodborne inspired. That's why there's just red tint everywhere. All the glintstone crystals have been sort of tainted with blood. Even the waterfall is now like a blood fall. And yeah, this boss here is Lady Maria from Bloodborne. They call it Blood Hunter's Apparition, but yeah, this is pretty much exactly like Lady Maria, except you can't stagger her. So yeah, I think at this point I'm a little over leveled, so other than Melania, there's not going to be much of a challenge. But yeah, I just wanted to sort of stream and show some of the differences with this Garden of Eyes mod. Some of the changes I don't really like, but some are pretty interesting. Like I like this whole Temple of Eyes dungeon, even if part of it is basically a ripoff of Dark Souls 2 Tower of Hyde. But I really just wanted to stream the Melania fights. So I'm going to make this little short stream today, and I'm just going to go ahead and end it here. I was expecting this to take longer. I was expecting it to take a lot more attempts to defeat Melania, but turned out it didn't. So yeah, I'll go ahead and end it now. Hope to see you next time where the plan is stream Bioshock Infinite. See you then.